Hey everyone, welcome back to the Iconis Podcast, and thank you for tuning in. Let's talk about the Tarantula. Ugh. Hey everyone, as I said, thank you for tuning in. Remember, like, subscribe, and share. Don't let the show be a secret. And remember, you can always check me out at barry3d.com. You can find Rod at Twitch TV, and you can also check out Larry Recalzado's page on Facebook, right? The Obscure, Underrated, and Heroes. So I know I messed up the name, but there you go, you see it. And of course, if you need any kind of graphic art that needs to be done, check out Jason Reese at Jaybird Digital Arts. Rod does it better than I do. And we are going to talk about the Tarantula. Ugh. And the only reason I go ugh is because I'm not a fan of spiders. I don't like spiders. I like Spider-Man, but not spiders, okay? So bear with me. I think some of us are all squeamish about something or the other. That's just me. So I'm very happy when I saw the trailer of Brand New Day that we saw that the Tarantula is making his appearance. Now, the Tarantula has never appeared in any other media before, the male version of the Tarantula, the one that we all recognize. So the Tarantula made his very first appearance in Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man issue number 134 back in July of 1974. Old school villain. Here we go. Now, the Tarantula started off as, I guess, fighting the political regime. He's seen like almost like evil Captain America. He started fighting off the political regime. He ended up offing somebody during a robbery, and then he was brought on board by the government to become a government operative for a fictional country down in Central America. This is where he got, brought on board. So the original Tarantula is Antonio Miguel Rodriguez. Got to put some Latin on his name. There we go. Also known as Anton Miguel Rodriguez. And this is the character we're talking about. So he never showed up in a cartoon. He's never showed up in a video game or anything like that, to my knowledge. And if I'm wrong, put it in the comments below. But so far, I don't believe so. This is his first appearance ever. And they've actually recreated that scene from issue 134 on the cover with the Tarantula. If you look at the Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer, they pretty much recreated it. So he's got a generally red costume, black gloves, black boots, and they have long blades at the end, which are poisonous. He has no superpowers, no superhuman skill. He's just a very skilled or exceptionally skilled fighter and warrior, and he's kind of pushing on that cause. He's also a psychopath, so clearly this is where he falls into. And not only has he fought Spider-Man over the years, he's fought Captain America. So I'm happy that they brought this character in. I hope they give this character a lot more. I know his storyline, he's had some good story arcs, and you see him in a brawl with Kraven the Hunter, the Runaways. The character's shown up multiple times, and I think they can always expand on this. He was created by the one and only Gerry Conway. So Gerry Conway and Ross Andru were the ones who created the Tarantula back in 1974. And the reason they created him is because they were looking at the political climate at the time, where you saw how things were going over in Central America, how America was, I guess, helping the government and all that. That's more of a history thing. It's not a political thing at all. It's just that they took a real life event, said, who would be a character we can put in this here? And that's how Marvel always does things. Marvel always does things off real world events, real world cities, generally speaking, unlike DC. Because if you can find where Gotham or Metropolis is on a map, I'd be glad to know. I know there's a map out there where someone's done it, and I know the DC universe, Earth is supposed to be like, I think, 33% bigger than our Earth that we're on. But this is Marvel. This is where they function in. And at times, of course, they do make fictional places and countries and locations. A lot of it is, if you walk downtown in New York and they mention a street, you see that street. Okay. All right. So that's where we're going with. So Anton was hired by the Brand Corporation to turn around and silence an informer. Of course, Spider-Man got in the way, and then they hired them to get rid of Spider-Man. And here's where it leads to the confrontation. Of course, Spider-Man thwarts the plot, so that happens no more. And of course, during a lot of the things that he goes through, there is an important storyline. So if you get like the trade paperback of Spider-Man Dead No More, The Clone Conspiracy, right? You'll see Anton make a comeback in there, in a clone body, but it's still his soul, and then how he goes about things, right? He's in the Hunted storyline, and at one point he's grouped with a group of characters called the Savage Six. So this is where this character really drives and stems from. You can also find other things where you could see where he's at, be it if it's Spider-Man or Captain America, you know, at one point he even teamed up with the Chameleon. So there's a lot of people and things he's done. Now, let's get into it. Because he's making his appearance, I don't know if it's going to be like a flash appearance. What I mean by that is like how they did in Fantastic Four, where they mention certain villains or you see them really quick on the screen for like 30 seconds. So they might be doing that with Spider-Man Brand New Day, because we know Spider-Man, Peter Parker in the movie, is kind of committed to being Spider-Man full-time to keep everybody safe in New York, due to the events of the previous movie where everyone forgets who Peter Parker is because he had their mind wiped during a spell and it kind of got wrong. All right. Now we got this one. It'd be interesting to see him come back. I hope they just don't use him as a one-off. Hopefully they bring him back in the MCU. He could show up as fighting, the Falcon, who is now currently Captain America, or even do something with Bucky. Do it as let those two team up again and let the Tarantula come in. Let them go down to Central America and have to deal with a situation, and not make it a one-off character who's just robbing banks, but someone that's going to have a lot more richness and story to them. I don't know the actor that's playing it. I didn't look it up and go that deep, but hopefully they don't kind of get rid of this character as quickly as they did as White Tiger in the Daredevil Born Again series. All right, because we know he does have an end, but he always comes back. Nobody ever goes away forever in comic books. That's my 2 cents. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. Remember, like, subscribe, and share. Don't let the show be a secret. And this is an inner Iconis idea, and we're just kind of spotlighting on the Tarantula. Ugh. Get the spider spray. All right.